Hello everyone, I'm Chef John. Welcome back to the Healthy Families, Healthy Futures Kitchen. Today we're going to make a couple of recipes that fit in very well with the upcoming fall season. Usually as the weather changes, we start thinking about comfort food. Both of these dishes can be made very quickly, very easy, and you can make a lot of it if you're cooking for your center, or you can make a little bit or one pot if you're making it for your home. The first dish is going to be a beef noodle dish using tomatoes, and then we're going to make a one pot chicken Alfredo. So let's get started. In my pan over here, I'm going to add about a pound of ground beef. My pack's just a little bit bigger than that, about a pound and a quarter. And I'm going to also add about a cup of chopped onions. You can add more, you could add less. Now my grocery store did not have the most great lean beef this week. So I'm using about an 85-15. I would want to try to get a 90-10 and use a little oil in the bottom. But say I'm just going to use the 85-15 without the oil. This will take about 5 minutes. We're going to break this up and get it going. After we get this done, it really goes pretty quickly. Our ground beef looking pretty good now. It's mostly all gone. All the pink is gone. You want to get it all out of the way. There's a few pieces here, but we'll stir that out as we go. We're going to add our spices now. We're going to add about a tablespoon of, about 2 cloves of minced garlic, about a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and about 2 teaspoons of paprika. We added a little bit of salt. We're going to add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Not a lot of either. All right, we're going to stir that in, make sure that gets all good and mixed through. Stir that for about a minute, and we'll get that all nice and mixed. All right, we're going to add to this a can of no salt added diced tomatoes in its juice. We're not going to take the juice out. A little label there. And a can also of no salt added tomato sauce. We're also going to add about a cup of either beef broth or chicken broth. I already had a box of chicken broth already open, so I'm just going to use that so I don't waste it. If you had beef broth, you could use that as well. We're going to bring this up to a boil, and then we're going to add about a half a cup, about a cup and a half of whole wheat pasta of your choice. You could use elbows. I'm going to use rotini as soon as this comes up to a boil. I'll add about a cup and a half, about a half a box of this. When this comes up to the boil, I'm going to reduce the heat and cover it and let it cook for about 5 minutes. Then I'm going to add my pasta. It already smells amazing. All right, we've brought our meat and tomato mixture up to a boil, and we're going to cover this with a real tight fitting lid, and we're going to reduce our heat down to low, and we're going to let that simmer for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to add our macaroni. All right, so we've let our sauce cook for a little bit, and now we're going to add I'm using a whole grain rotini. I'm going to put about half the box in here, about a cup and a half. I'm going to stir that around really good. And it's going to soak up a fair amount of your liquid in here. So I'm going to let this cook for about 9 or 10 minutes. And then we'll be done. Okay, while our beefy mac is cooking, finishing up, we're going to go ahead and start our chicken Alfredo. It's a one-pot chicken Alfredo. Really easy to put together, can be done very quickly. First thing I'm going to do is take a 1/4 cup of milk and about 2 teaspoons of flour. And I'm just going to whisk those together, and I'll set that off to the side, and we'll bring it back in just a little bit. We want to get all the lumps out. This is going to help thicken our sauce in our Alfredo. You can actually make this Alfredo using low-fat milk. You don't have to use the heavy cream or that half and half or heavy milk. This is actually 2% that we have at my house. Now I'm going to cook our chicken. I'm going to take about 2 good teaspoons of avocado oil. And I'm going to get that hot. And I'm going to add about 1.5 pounds of chicken that I've already cut up. If you wanted to pre-cook your chicken, like I do a lot of times, I just keep chicken in my refrigerator a lot of times, especially if my kids are home. I just keep some poached chicken in the refrigerator. You can make chicken salad. You can put it in pasta dishes like this. Do a lot with it. So it's really worthwhile to keep it on hand. We'll season this up as we go. Right now I just want to get it good and brown. Cook through. Like I said, we're going to make all this in one pot. We're going to add our sauce to this. We're actually going to take the chicken out in just a little bit after we get it nice and browned off. And then we'll add some garlic to this, and then the rest of our milk and flour mixture, some chicken stock, and a little bit of cream cheese to thicken things up. And we'll be good to go. And our linguine. So our chicken now has kind of sauteed down. It's browned up pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out of the pot, and I'm going to add it back in just a second. While it was cooking, I went ahead and kind of cut it into pieces. It still needs to cook just a little bit longer. But we're going to go ahead and pull this out. You could pre-cook your chicken if you wanted to, poach it like I do, or you could just cut it up and saute it. It'd probably go a little faster. So we're going to grab a spoon and pull that out onto my plate. Then we'll build the rest of our fettuccine.
All right, so we're going to add back into our pot. We're going to cook up a little garlic. Just really quick, we don't want it to burn. I'm cooking on about medium heat here. So we're just going to stir that around in the chicken drippings there for just a minute. Just to kind of get that nice and hot. I'm going to add about 2 cups of water to this, about 2.5 cups. Kind of the basis for our soup, for our Alfredo. And then I'm going to add the rest of the milk, which is about 1.25 cups. I'm going to bring that up to a boil with a lid on it. And that comes up to a boil. We'll add our pasta and then our chicken and our milk flour combination. So we're going to bring that up to a boil. I'm going to break down this chicken a little more. I want to be able to put chicken in just about every bite. All right, so we've brought our mixture up to a boil. Looking really good. We're going to add about 1/2 box. This is a pound. So we're going to add about 1/2 box of linguine to this. I'm going to get that broke down in there. We're going to put the cover back on, let that cook for a little bit. Okay, we've let our pasta cook, and we're going to now add back in our chicken. Give that a really good stir. We're going to also add back in our flour milk mixture and about a tablespoon of cream cheese, light cream cheese. And we'll stir that through. As that melts down, that's going to add to our creamy Alfredo. to finish this off, we're going to add some Parmesan cheese and some black pepper. Some parm, just a good handful, your choice, about half a cup. And then some fresh black pepper. Stir that. Great comfort food for this time of year. Easy to get on the plate. We're going to plate this up now with our beefy noodle. Let's get this out of here. Finish giving it a few more stirs. You can see what our beefy noodle looks like. Just put some of that in a bowl. Just sprinkle a little more cheese on top. Just a little bit. And there we have that. Our fettuccine. Chicken Alfredo. You could also add some peas to this, some broccoli, if you wanted to. Nice and creamy. We used low-fat milk and we used light cream cheese. And we'll add a little more cheese to this. There we have it. Two really great dishes for the coming fall weather. Really easy to do and very healthy. Not a lot of salt, fresh vegetables. If you want to add them, you're welcome to. So that's it for this session. I hope you've enjoyed our recipes. I'm Chef John, and we'll see you next time.